Hi, I'm Bill Bradley. Join me for a recent excerpt of American Voices. But first, here in American Voices, we celebrate all this country has to offer. So each week, we invite authors and artists to talk about a favorite place or sound in the country. This time, we hear from author Jay Kaiser. Here's Jay Kaiser on his favorite sound.
Hello, my name is Jay Kaiser, and I'm going to tell you about my favorite sound. But in order to do that, you're going to have to go back in time. I'm 90 years old. I turned 90 about 2 weeks ago. And my favorite sound goes back about 80 years. I grew up in the Washington, D.C. area, and the Potomac River runs right through it. And there were two bridges. One was called Key Bridge. I think it was named after Francis Scott Key. And then about 3 or maybe 5 miles up the river was the Chain Bridge. Now, if you go to Washington now and you go across the Key Bridge and look on either side of the river, all you would see for miles around would be houses, high-rises, malls. In other words, you'd have no idea at all that used to be a completely primitive forest. And when I was, I guess I must have been about 15. Let's see, the war was over in 1945. Yes, I was somewhere around 1947. I was 12 years old. I was in the Boy Scouts. And that whole area there was forest. And what we used to do when we went camping is we'd go to the Key Bridge and we'd be dropped off at the Key Bridge. There was a path that you could hike from Key to Chain. And we would hike with the backpacks with all our tents and things on our back. And we would hike from Key to Chain. When we got to Chain, there was a kind of a campground, and we would set up tents, and we would do what Boy Scouts do. You know, we'd sing songs, make our own meals, sit around a fire at night. Well, I went on 2 or 3 camping trips there, and on every camping trip that we went on, we were told to set up our camps right. And what that meant was, not only did you have to make sure that the pup tent that you'd set up was taut and close to the ground, but that there was a ground cloth underneath in case it rained. And then we were supposed to build a little ditch around the tent, and then there was a little runoff that we had. And it never rained. But the third time we went camping, that night when I went into the pup tent, it started to rain. And the sound of the rain against the tent, and when I looked around in the tent, we were absolutely dry. But the rain was pouring down, and here I was in this self-made tent, listening to the rain hit against the canvas. And it gave me a great sense of sort of security, and I never forgot that sound. So that is certainly one of my favorite sounds from childhood. If I hear the rain now, I still have a sense of security, and I think it's probably connected, but it's not the same. It's a very special sound of pouring rain in a canvas tent in a dry place. But I still, when I hear it raining, I do have this, and I'm indoors and safe and warm, I really do have a sense of security. It's undoubtedly connected. It's over and over again, and in a varying pattern depending upon the volume of rain, but it's there. It's a constant, repeated beat. Rhythm is repetition. Rain on the canvas is repetition. I think that simply the repetition of the sound of rain against the canvas actually creates a sense of pleasure in me. And I think that's because I'm hardwired to do that. I can't avoid doing that. By hearing this rain over and over again in an environment which is not threatening, I find it pleasurable. That's just part of human nature.
That was Jay Kaiser. His recent book is Play It Again, Sam, Repetition in the Arts. Thank you for listening to American Voices here on my YouTube channel. For more interviews celebrating the goodness and creativity of the American people, click the subscribe button below.